This video can contain spoilers for the entire game of Undertale. Please make sure to play the game yourself before watching the video. I highly recommend doing so. Thanks. Hey guys, welcome to the channel The Smickle Cookies, and today we'll be simply talking about why I think that Undertale, everybody's heard of it of course, is a game that has a really two-sided fan or hate base. It just come to my attention that a lot of people who I know ship on every part of Undertale or get over the minor things that they think don't really fit into the game or are less good than the rest of the game. And the other half is just like really negative about everything in the game, and they think it's just not a fun game to play. They don't enjoy it. They don't enjoy watching it. And today I'll be compiling this short list of why I think that it has such a two-sided fan or hate base. To start off, of course, it's an 8-bit game. This is probably the most obvious reason why everyone could think of to hate Undertale. Not because the story or what is happening with the development or what kind of game it is. It is an 8-bit game. The graphics are not good, and if you're really attached to that in games, it's probably not a really good idea if you play this. Of course, there are people who think it's such a good game that they normally don't play 8-bit games but play Undertale because they think it's really fun and entertaining. But you have to keep in mind, it is an 8-bit game and not much popular games have that at this certain given time. Next to that, it is an indie RPG, a role-playing game. That's also something you have to be interested in and to really, to the full extent, enjoy the game. It is a short game. It's fairly short. The first run was a neutral run. It took me like 3 to 3.5 hours to complete. Of course, there are multiple endings, so if you're against short games, you can also say that it has multiple endings. So everything you do, everything you has an influence to the remainder of the game and even into the next storyline. So that is something to take into consideration. But there's also the point where you can't like short games but also not like multiple endings, because you want to have the feeling that you actually can clear the game. And while you can say it is so, but even with Undertale, there's also a side that can say it can never be completed because of every optional possibility that there is to finish the game. The characters in the game are very focused on one point. They have clear personalities. Take a sense of Papyrus as an example. They have their mindset on 1 to maybe 3 things, and barely change their morals through the story. This can be both a positive and a negative point. The positive aspect of it is that you get to know the character and really live up to their feelings, and which can suck you even further into the game. While the negative point is they don't develop during the game, and if you are not familiar with one of the characters, or you just don't like them in the beginning of the game, there's a big chance you won't like them at the end of the game as well. The story is, in my opinion, one of the things that is only positive. I think it's just one of the best things about this game, if not the best thing. The story in it is really good, and I highly recommend that you play every main ending at least once, because there's so much to offer, so much hidden actions or things you don't know about in your first, second, or maybe even third run, and you somehow just discover, and that's really good. There are so many Easter eggs and things you maybe didn't notice, so it's really worth playing even more than once per ending. The last thing I want to talk about quite shortly, but is come to my attention that everybody is doubting about the consequences in the game. I personally think that the mechanic in the game, that every action you take has consequences on the remainder of the game, even in next storylines or whatever, is really good. I enjoy Undertale to the fullest extent. There's nothing I can think of at the moment that I just don't like about Undertale. It's an amazing game in my opinion, and I highly recommend playing it if you haven't yet. But the fact that there are consequences that unless you sort of cheat in the game, you do a true reset, or you complete every storyline, a certain storyline again, has consequences. It has such an effect on you that you can't say it isn't that good, but I wouldn't recall why would you say that, because it makes one of the unique things of Undertale that I really can appreciate. Its battle mechanics are also good, and it's unique. No one has thought of this before. Wow, it's actually so easy. Oh, I hope I didn't get too boring at this point. I'm around on this video with that last point. So think it over, think for yourself. If you like this video, leave a like. If you don't, leave a dislike. And if you want, put in any suggestions on what to do next or any tips for me in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.